Well, good evening, everybody. So hopefully you watched my van build tour yesterday. What do y'all think? I think it turned out pretty darn good. So last night I slept in the van with the new mattress for the first time, and it felt amazing. That mattress is so comfortable. When I cut it, there's two layers of foam that I cut, and then there's a topper in the cover. The foam felt like I'm going to just be laying on wood. It's the topper that makes the mattress. It firms it up so wonderfully, and I like a firm mattress. It's just was I had a great sleep last night. So obviously, didn't really film anything today. I just worked in the house, and then worked on the van door lock again because I couldn't get that the first time, but I got it now. So every door works. I was going to take the lock right out and just either weld a plate in or Bondo it, because I just couldn't get that clip on the lock for the last time, the first day I got here. I just gave it another try today, and for some reason it popped right on. No rhyme or reason. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I mean, I know you guys will. So I've been thinking about changes that I would make, or would have made, or should have made. Now that I bought the ottoman, I think I'll still enjoy it, but instead of the bench, I may have done a full cabinet all the way up. That would have given me storage out the wazoo. Um, but I don't know how I would feel with my head when in bed with a cabinet there blocking my view. I don't know how I would feel about that. But that's one thing maybe is the bench going to be there? Am I going to use it? It's good storage right now, and I can access the electrical panel without having to go around back, pulling everything out and crawling in. So that's a good thing. Overall, I'm very happy with it. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay here and help on the house. Worked for a little while today. Uh, Everybody goes to church tomorrow morning. I don't go to church. So I may go in and sand everything I did today. I filled the 4,316 nail holes and finished caulking. And I had to go back over some of the caulking areas because gaps were a little wider. So the caulk shrunk a little bit when it dried, so it cracked or it pulled away. And then I missed a couple little spots, and just little odds and ends like that. Plus, there was some more towards the kitchen that I didn't do last night. But okay, so we're definitely going to give daily updates of what we're doing the next few days. Maybe see what I can show you. It's getting dark tonight, or I'll give you a story. Maybe we'll do a story tomorrow. End this video with a story tomorrow. Okay, we will see you tomorrow. Well, good morning, everybody. This mattress is so comfy. So we're going to do an experiment. It is currently 68 degrees inside the van, and it is 69 degrees outside the van. I shut the fan off. All the window coverings are in, and the curtain is closed. And we are going to see how long it takes for the van to warm up. Excuse me. because it is Sunday morning and I am going to sleep in, or try to. I mean, it's only 6:45, but so we're going to see how long it takes, what kind of temperature difference we can get. You know, the whole van's insulated, all the window coverings are in, and we're closed up. So we'll see, and we'll let you know what happens. Now, this is going to be exciting content. All right, so we'll let you know what happens. Oh, by the way, these dim. They're really bright. Or they dim real down, which is pretty cool. And I know a lot of people like a light switch. I would rather turn on the lights independently. That's just me. And then these remember where they are. So right now it's low, it's off. Come back on, it's still low. All right, we're going back to bed. Yeah, I got a Velveeta, but I'm kind of in the mood for just the Kraft mac and cheese spirals. This water pump isn't as good as my other one. The other one pumped very steady. I don't know, it might just be trying to get air out of the line and stuff. I've only used it for a few seconds. It spits and sputters everywhere too. Yeah, we may have to replace this one. This one isn't as good as my other one. Yeah, it's not a smooth pump. It's getting water everywhere. I mean, literally, it splashed everywhere. Wow, kind of cruddy. Plus, I got everything in the sink right now because I just haven't figured out where to put it. So it's, as I said, it's Sunday morning. Everybody's at church, then they go to lunch. And so I'm just, oops, this has moved in transit. The bottle is not where it's supposed to be. I should put my glasses on for this one. There we go. So we're just going to go ahead and cook some mac and cheese for lunch. Let's see here this morning. So I woke up at 6:45. Told you guys I was going to check the temperatures. I fell back asleep for an hour and 45 minutes. So about 8:30, I woke up and it was 5 degrees cooler inside than it was outside. The fan was on, blowing air around, and I don't know if that actually warmed it up a little bit or kept it cool. I don't have any salt. Oh, yes, I do. I have some salt. Um, but so it did keep it cooler when the sun, the sun was lower and beating directly on the van. When I finally decided to get out of bed, which was late because I just wanted to lay in bed today, it was only like 3 degrees difference. 85 outside, 82 in here. But keeping a van cool is hard. So alrighty, I'm gonna just sit here and cook my macaroni and cheese. Maybe get a colder. I got warm water here. I don't want warm. I want cold. But I'm gonna go in the after I eat my mac and cheese. I'm gonna go in the house. I puttied all the nail holes in the living room. After I got done caulking yesterday, I'll probably go sand those so the ceiling will be ready to be painted. And the walls are ready to be painted as well. And the windowsills. So we'll see. Probably by the time I get done with this, they'll probably be back from church and lunch. I don't know if Hickory will come work on Sunday today or not. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. It's okay. We will see you guys when lunch is ready. Or later. I don't know. We'll see. You guys will see. All right, finishing up our mac and cheese. The other thing I think I'm going to do, I don't know if I mentioned it or not. I bought a mirror to go up here. See if we can't fix that after lunch. Here's a little cheap Walmart thing, like $6, $5. Like $5.88 actually, plus tax, probably like 6.25. You know, I was thinking about getting a bigger stove. I don't think I am going to. I don't need two burners. You know, I mean, if I'm going to cook, say I'm going to cook a steak and a vegetable. Vegetables don't take very long, and a steak has to rest after you cook it. A lot of things, you know, I'm going to do my Dutch oven type thing. Chilies, things like that. Or, I mean, whatever else. So, looking at the size, if I put the big thing there, I mean, I could still do it. You know, it's not that big of a deal. It just, you know, takes up more space. I wouldn't have the counter space while I'm cooking. I mean, I still got this one. But mac and cheese is looking cheesy. There's something about this craft spiral with the spirals, you know. I don't like the elbow in the craft. I don't know why. Nothing against it. I just don't like the elbows for some reason. The spirals just seem to hold it better. But it just kind of reminds you of, you know, simpler times. Okay, it's done. Unhook the stove. Well, I think it's time, you know where we go? To our outdoor table to eat lunch. That's where we're going. That pan's awful hot. I don't know how well that polyurethane is set yet. Sure, I mean, sure, it's been fine, but want to protect the cabinetry. You want to know what van life is like every other day at your house, except I can move. I don't have to pay mortgage. And it's a lot smaller. A little peach iced tea to drink. I'll never quit being a hiker. I'll never quit drinking out of sports bottles with a cap. That's all I drink out of. Well, unless I'm having a beverage. But all day long, it's the water bottle with a sport cap. Not really the exciting first meal that I was planning on cooking in the new van, but when we get on the road, we will do probably a steak. I've really been hankering for a steak, and I bought a cast iron fry pan last night. A little fry pan I had from the bean pod was maybe like 5 inches, 6 inches. This one's not much bigger. It's only 8, but I don't need that much. I don't need that much. Maybe we do a steak and broccoli or something on the road. Because when we leave here, we'll probably make it to maybe Nebraska. Corn-fed beef, right? In Nebraska? I mean, they're the corn huskers. I don't know. We'll see. Right? I'm going to eat my lunch. And we'll see what happens today. But the build's done. I could be on the road anytime. So you never know. But not today. All right, I got to eat my pasta. All right, so I'm trying to sand all the filler I put in all the nail holes the other day, which are like 40 million of them. I did it 2 hours by hand, and my arms are killing me, and I was getting nowhere, so I went to town, got some fine grit paper for the palm sander, and now we're going to get this done quick. Okay, so like the first 20%, 2 hours, the other 80%, 40 minutes. I missed 3 when I was filling, so I hit those. Got to move the plywood that's against the wall, get behind that, caulk the edge, and get that trimmed or sanded. And this room will be ready to paint. Okay, so we got some painting done, got some trim, the archway. Well, not a bad day. Had to clean up, tape around some stuff. Got this window over there done too. Well, we'll get a good early start tomorrow, and hopefully we can get all these beams painted. Well, primed. So, yep, that's what we're doing. It wasn't a bad day, though. Wish I hadn't have started hand sanding. I probably could have got quite a bit more done today. But oh well, that's life. Okay, time to end the day. Good evening, folks. It's a nice day. got some stuff accomplished. I wish I hadn't have hand sanded for 2 hours. Should just run to the store right off the bat. But I didn't think it was going to be that hard to sand off. But we got everything sanded, prepped, cleaned up some. So that way when I was painting, and got some of the stuff painted today. Well, it's just primed. It's going to be multi-layers. I've decided I'm probably going to stay here for a little while. I'm not sure how long. I don't know. But this is a day of van life, I mean, whether you're painting a farmhouse or you're traveling or you're doing a campground gig like I saw somebody got the other day, or you're just living in a city, doing, living out your, it's all the same kind of stuff. You just get to do it out of a van. And I love it. I love just being able to drive my house wherever I want to go. Excuse me. So I know some of you guys like the hiking stories and whatnot, so I thought I'd just give you a couple little stupid ones today. They're kind of funny. But a while, I don't know if you can still do it, but Velveeta started selling the like 4 packs of cheese sauce. Basically you paid the same amount if you bought 4 boxes of shells and cheese. You just didn't get the boxes or the shells. But hey, I could get the cheese sauce, and that's good with everything. Well, I was hiking with a guy and can't remember what I made for dinner, but I thought, I'm going to use one of those packets of cheese sauce. Well, the whole packet would have been way too much, so I put in like half. And I went to the guy I was hiking with, who I later had to get rid of. And I said, hey, you want the other half of this cheese sauce? He's like, heck yeah, I'll put it on my tray. I think he was making wraps or something. So, he ate the other half. Well, in the morning, my stomach was grumbling, if you understand what I mean, like no tomorrow. I barely got out of the tent, managed to dig a cat hole, and proceed to empty myself. So it was real early. It was probably like 4 in the morning or something like that. So I normally get up like 5 when I'm hiking. I crawl back in the tent for a little while and finally decide to get up and start, getting everything put away to go hike another 25, 30 miles. This was on the PCT back in 2020. So the guy I was hiking around at that time, he's getting up. He's a later riser. As I was packing, and I said, man, I don't know if there was something wrong with that cheese sauce, but I barely made it out of the tent last night. He looks at me with a kind of a bad, sad face. He's like, I didn't. Yeah, so needless to say, I didn't need any more of those cheese sauce packets. But yeah, that was funny. I was glad I got out of the tent. He didn't. There are lots of stories like that. I mean, things happen when you're hiking. I remember a young kid in Kennedy Meadows. Somebody had told him, it's not if, but when you in your pants. I mean, you're stretching, climbing or going over stuff, hiking long miles. And the young kid, this is his first. He turned out to be a really good backpacker, hiker. But when he stepped on the PCT, he was way overweight, and he had never been overnight camping before. And he turned out to be a really good hiker. He's a really nice guy, nice young guy. Nickname was Money. But he asked me, it's like, hey, Jelly Bean. I said, yeah, it's not when, but if. Or not if, but when. And I think that put a little scare into him. But he turned out to be a really good hiker. He ended up going on to do the Continental Divide. I don't know if he did the AT. But I think he finished the Continental Divide. I can't remember. You're climbing Mount Whitney on the Pacific Crest Trail. You'd see somebody's drawers flung underneath the rock. They shouldn't have done that. They should have carried them out. But I wasn't going to, you know, carry somebody's soiled drawers out or down off the mountain. But yeah, little things like that happen. You know. All right, one little other quick little story. I was on the PCT. I can't remember where. I can see it in my head. I can't remember where I was. But in the Far Out, which used to be Gut Hooks, it's an app that we use to follow the trail, and people can leave comments and you can respond or whatnot in there. And in this area, it had said that the deer activity was very, heavy. So I was trying to push miles. I know I was trying to get into a town, but I can see where I camped, but I just can't remember where it was. But I decided to make my dinner or boil the water to pour into the dinner before I set up my tent because I like it to cool down and because I'm not going to eat 220 or 220 degree boiling water food. So I cooked my food. It was a nice meal. It was a mountain house meal, and I set a couple foot away from where I was going to set up my tent. Well, this doe comes over, and I'm trying to put in tent stakes. And first, she looked at my dinner, and I told her, "Hey, get away from that." But literally, she's almost coming over like a dog or a pony when I'm putting the fence. I mean, she's like her head's like right here as I'm pounding the tent stakes, and I'm like, shoo. And she just keeps following me, and then a second one comes, and they're like one on both sides of each end of the tent, and I'm like, come on, guys, ladies, I'm trying to set the tent up. Aren't you at least a little scared of me? And they aren't. You're so far deep in nature that they don't know what you are to even be scared of you. It's funny. And I swore they were going to because sometimes they'll doink your tent at night with their nose. And I knew they were just going to do it all night long. But it was funny. I got the tent all set up, and I sat and ate my dinner, and they basically sat there watching me eat my dinner. And I just knew I was in for a night of doinking. Well, I got done with my dinner, and I put my garbage in my little garbage bag that I carry, and I said, well, ladies, good night. I'm going to go to bed. I hope you'll go somewhere else for the evening and have a good night. And it was like on cue. They turned, went down the trail, and I didn't see them again all night long. It was so funny. I had a lot of encounters on trail like that with animals. I was in the Sierra. I can't remember if I was how close I was to Yosemite. I don't think I was quite there yet. Yosemite. Yes, right? Yosemite. My brain's fried. But anyways, yeah, Yosemite National Park. I saw when I woke up in the morning, I got up and I had my headlamp on and I see these eyes down the way where the actual trail is. I camped up above the trail. And there's like 4 pairs of eyes, or 5, I can't remember. And I'm shining my light on them, and the eyes start coming towards me. Now, there was a lot of bear activity in this area. That's like one of the few places I actually followed the safe bear can requirements and wedged it in some rocks. Normally, I kept it in my tent, just like every other thru hiker does. Why? Because we eat at night. But I'm getting a little nervous because I couldn't tent where I was going to because of all the bear activity. it was a closed area camping because there were so many scrape marks. And I actually saw some rangers in that area investigating when I went through. So I'm only a couple miles, miles past that. And here all these eyes are coming up right at me. And I was starting to get a little nervous, but now it's the sun just coming up enough. And here's just a bunch of deer. They had been bedding down on the trail right below me. And when they saw my light, they were just curious of who I was. Nature's fun. They're not scared of you because if they don't know who you are, they haven't been scared by people. That's why you don't feed them. But okay, guys, I think that's a wrap for today. It's actually 2 days. So again, like I said, I'm going to stick around. Keep helping them with the farmhouse. They're trying to get moved in. They get the bedroom done, living room done, kitchen done, bathroom done. That it doesn't even have to be done, but they can move in instead of they're staying with their in-laws right now. Her parents, his in-laws. But they want to get in there. It's their house. So, all right, as always, thank you for watching, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing. It's appreciated. Helps the channel. And always, have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we'll see you tomorrow on Jelly Bean Outdoors.